shall my pride.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you, Victor.
Okay. By name, I'm Babakai Victor. I'm on the code 005 VA 005 VA.
Okay.
And I'll be taking mathematics this morning, and I'll be taking it for the GSS1 class.
Wonderful.
And I shall be discussing the topic plane shapes. Plane shapes. Okay.
Just tell us your objectives again.
Okay. My objective for this lesson, by the end of the lesson, my learners should be able to identify the various plane shapes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Timer, slides, if you have any. Just go to a new page if you want. Start your time. Your time's above.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, click on
that one.
it. Click on it. Reset. Start. Thank you very much. Let's go.
Good morning, my amazing learners.
Thank you. Good morning.
You're welcome to this morning's class. And before we begin the class, I want to do something. Who can guess what it is? Who can guess what we're going to do this morning? Okay.
Well, shapes.
Okay, maybe you might be correct. But then, let's start from redos this morning. Okay, who is ready for my redos this morning?
Go ahead.
Ready? Good. Okay, I'm an object, or rather, I'm a shape with three sides. Guess the name?
Triangle.
Triangle, correct. Okay, I think you got that so easily. I'm going to give you something different. Okay, we are playing shapes. In our family, we all have four sides. My name is rectangle. My younger brother's name is square. I have a sister called rhombus. I have another called parallelogram. What's our family name? Yes, it's going to help us out.
Quadrilateral.
My God, you're just amazing.
Thank you.
Clap for him. Wow, I never thought you would get that. Okay, fine. Now, you see the shapes I just mentioned, the triangle, the square, the parallelogram, the rhombus, they all take us to our topic for today. And that topic is what? Plane shapes.
Good.
But then, I think I'm still going to do something. We're going to do small of a workbook stuff. And guess what? Anybody that gets it gets a gift from me.
Good.
So who's going to take that gift home? You. Okay. Okay, quickly. In 30 seconds.
I will hint.
I'm just going to give you this. 30 seconds. Match the shapes to their various names. Quickly. Good. Your time stops now. Can I have my shapes back? Thank you. Thank you. So by the end of the class, we're going to know who got the highest and who's going to get my gifts.
Good.
Thank you. Now, you can see that all the shapes we have on that workbook are all represented here. What shape is this?
Circle.
What shape is this?
Circle.
What about this?
Pentagon.
Pentagon. You know why it's called a pentagon? It
Yes.
has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's called what?
Pentagon.
Pentagon. And this?
Triangle.
Triangle. Good. And we have a square. We have a rhombus. Now, what's the difference between a rhombus and a square? Both has 4 sides, equal sides, just the geometry, right? They both have different shapes, but they all have equal sides.
Angle 90.
Okay, good.
One
And we
has
have
four.
what? What is this?
Trapezium.
A trapezium. And this?
A rectangle.
And finally, we have
A
the parallelogram. Now, you notice something among them. All these have equal sides, 4 sides, right? Remember the reduce?
Did you say equal sides?
They all have 4 sides, right there.
Thank
They
you.
all have 4 sides. And remember the riddles. We all belong to a family called what? Quadrilateral. Okay, so now together we're going to match these shapes together. We'll match the shapes to their various names. So what shape is this?
Triangle.
Triangle. So I'm matching it to this point, right? You have a triangle. Who got this? Okay. What shape is this?
A square.
A square. Correct. So we are going to match a square to this point. And what shape is this?
Pentagon.
A pentagon. And we are matching it to this point. And this? A parallelogram. Don't forget that. We're going to match a parallelogram this way. And what about this?
Trapezium.
Trapezium. Thank you. We're going to match our trapezium this way. And we have one more. Okay, we have 3 more rather. And this one?
A rectangle.
A rectangle. And we have a rectangle this way. And this?
Rhombus.
A rhombus. I love this. You guys are just simply amazing. And of course, finally, we're going to have a circle. I think with these shapes are clearly understood. So whenever you go out, you know your various shapes, right? So apart from this, we have other plane shapes, and that brings me to my assignment. You're going to give me 4 other shapes by next class that are what? Plane shapes, other than the 8 we have. In my next class, I'm going to be asking you for how many? 4. How many? 4. So thank you. See you in my next class. I love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, let's start off with you, Dr. Christie, please.
Mr. Victor. You had a good presentation. Powerful. Your instructional materials, yes. But I'm just thinking about the age appropriateness of this topic. Because I teach the early years, and these are things that they can easily identify. They go from concrete to identify this. So I don't know, but I think the topic, even if you see this topic at what class are you teaching?
GSS 1.
Yes, 1. I think the depth should be different from what you are teaching now, because what you demonstrated is actually for lower classes. So let's have the opinion of others.
Thank you very much, Dr. Christie. Mrs. Arofi.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done, Mr. Victor. I love that activity. I hope I won that task. You didn't tell us the winner. So well done. I think that was a very good entry into the lesson. I also was actually thinking something similar to what Doctor said, that I would have spent more time on the on some of the, what do they call it, the qualities of these shapes, the properties of the shapes,
what I've written down here,
angles, and for this level, parallel lines, and maybe it should have been a little bit, unless it's like a starter that you extended into a lesson, really. But another option is to look for where they might exist around, tell them to look around. Where would you find any of these? That might have been a little bit more concrete, for that level. But I liked the activity. I thought it was a whole lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arofi. And she's right. I'll just carry on from where she left off. She mentioned, let them look around and see, which shapes they can find. And the moment you mentioned rectangle, I was trying to point to the table. But, it was a good lesson. I love the riddle to start off with. Yes, a question to do with I'm a object or do we use 2D shape, 3D shape in this curriculum? Because you're calling them plane shapes, and I understand that. But do you also use 2D and 3D at the same stage to differentiate your objects or your solids from your plane shapes?
The plane shapes are 2D shapes.
Aha. So just sometimes you might want to emphasize it with that. Okay. Yeah. So the riddle was good. We knew we were talking about a 2D shape with 3 sides, so therefore I could easily identify it was a triangle. One of the best questions you asked was, what's the difference between a square and a rhombus? But you didn't really wait for an answer or even tell us an answer. the difference
You-
between a
I
square
think
and a
you
rhombus.
You rushed through something about
I said
parallel
something about
lines or...
I said
What is the difference between a square and a rhombus?
a square has sets of parallel lines, and each of the angles of the square is 90
90 degrees. There you go. So you see,
And
again,
the
we
sides are also equal.
good. Again, we come back to the properties. So what you've just said there is the properties, and that's how you're moving it on. So if we were to get very technical, we'll be looking at Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. We've not really moved up levels. We've almost stayed at the same plane, not to use it as a pun, but we've stayed at the same level. Yeah. So because Dr. Christie has asked a very good question, that even in primary school, especially in Montessori, they're touching it, they're feeling it, they're almost putting it in their mouth. Their food is all made of some of these shapes. So relate these fins to fins in real life. So pentagon, what else has 5 sides, you know, or the building in America. There are just a number of things you've got to bring into it. So you hold up the trapezium again. Yeah, so you've mentioned a good thing that they all belong to the same family. They all have 4 sides. But why is a trapezium a trapezium?
A trapezium.
That's a question you need to keep asking each time you hold up the shape. And in the first place, I tell you what, turn it the other way around. So you might have, when you were presenting it, you might have wanted to present it like this. And what is this? Because you're just giving everybody a chance to say, oh, trapezium. And then you turn it around and say, yes, you're right. And then you say, but why is it a trapezium? Do you get it? And why is it a trapezium?
It's a trapezium because it has a set of parallel lines.
That's all. Trapezium only has one property.
Yeah.
That's its only property, yeah? A set of parallel lines. So thank you very much. So, but all in all, you have made some great strides from where you are in the last 2-3 lessons. And I think you're headed in the right direction. You've kept it simple, you've kept it focused, but just make sure that when you say it's a GS1 lesson, that it's pitched at GS1 lesson and that you still keep making them think. But well done for that question again, the difference between a square and a rhombus, because that's one of the big questions for this lesson.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time. Do you have a question for us?
Thank you, sir.
All right, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Victor.